Hello, and welcome back to Awesomenauts Tournament Round 3 in this case. Quick shout out to Edster as well as Nikki for casting the two prettiest bouts. Oh my god, I have the stream not muted. Oh, I was hearing myself. That was my bad. Professional production here we run at the Awesomenauts Rumble channel. But yeah, I'm Pyro Cheese, your host, and now we are here joined by Celty. How's it going, dude?
Hey, what up?
Sweet. Piving will come later. Don't be calm. Be calm about that. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and right into the draft, I suppose. So on the red side, we're gonna be playing on Agalon. On blue side, we're also playing on AI Station.
What?
It's been a rough morning. It's been weird. It's a little early. It's noon. Earlier than we usually wake up on Sunday.
Okay. Restart.
Okay, restart. Playing on AI Station. We're good. Okay. There we go. And this is going to be Idiots Please Love. Dude, you do the
It is Idiots Team 1 Idiots versus Team 2 Please Love. Easy points.
There we go. I didn't understand the doc that I was staring at about. Alright, here we go.
Okay, what do you think about these drafts, Pyro Chief?
These drafts! Alright, on the right side we got some dizzy action with some Genji and deadlift. On the blue side we got a Swigs, a Sentry, and a Coco. So, overall, I think it's going to be kind of pretty clear who's going to be starting the team fights on either side. Taking that part a little earlier. But, that's going to be it. Yeah, with Genji on the red team, I think that's going to be really the initiator on that side, obviously, and then it's going to be interesting to see the kind of follow-up because Swiggins is going to be sort of a counter to Dizzy, because I'm assuming Dizzy's going to be trying to get in there as kind of like an assassin kind of harasser, assuming that a cocoon is going to be laddered immediately. Do you have any kind of like immediate thoughts on these kinds of comps?
I think it's going to be a little rough for red team personally, mainly because all they really have is Genji as far as like team fight initiations go. Other than that, it's just mostly harass and deadlift's existence, I guess, which is good against Sentry. But Swiggins is scary. Coco's just good all around.
It is, yeah. I think on the blue side, I think a lot of it's going to be dependent on how black holes are taken advantage of. Because frankly, it's going to be pretty hard to do that with the red side. Dizzy can just leave, Genji can also basically just leave, and Deadlift can just shield everything from that. So I don't think that the black hole is necessarily going to be an immediate threat. However, like the follow-up potentially, like if Swiggins gets an AoE anchor in there, or even a nice silence from Sentry could be potential in there. Or even sometimes when I've seen like this kind of like counterplay from Sentry, I've seen Black Hole be used more as like an area denial tool than an actual like initiation or like team fight tool. So it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of goes about.
Yep.
All right, cool. Anything else to add for this?
Nope. You want to get into it?
Yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. So I believe that we should just be ready to go right here. Are you at 38 seconds?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, so let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so we have Badass Ketchup on Deadlift, Jorv on Dizzy, and Pillow on Genji. And on the blue side we have Seb on the Coco, Game is Broken on Swiggins, and Love on Sentry. So, immediately we have a team fight going on. Deadlift going to be in there. Going to be able to...
proving his worth.
Yep.
The shield there.
Yeah,
that's already pretty much why you picked Deadlift against Sentry, right there.
Yeah, exactly.
The sole reason.
And then going to be a little bit of a mini push right there. Dizzy going to be able to clear that up, though. Black Hole, that's another thing that I'm kind of thinking about, is like, I'm expecting a Black Hole to be up pretty much constantly. Oh, Deadlift right there, used a shield anchored, but the anchor got broken, so now they're going to come out of that, unfortunately. Yeah, so it'll be, we'll see how things go from here. As far as like first items, regen, straight up. Entire blue team, regen. Wow. Like it's kind of interesting because I always like talking about first items all the time, and that is noteworthy. I think like in comp, it's a lot more often to see some kind of sustain abilities come out pretty early, but it's kind of interesting to see the difference that red team went pretty much straight for damage upgrades or like effective damage upgrades, while blue team strictly reach it, like literally just meta can. Just, like not even like
it's working out in blue's favor. Like they're
It
all
is,
like
yeah.
almost full health, and they've had like 2 fights so far.
yeah, they haven't really needed to go back yet. They haven't needed to like get into the health. I mean, they did take the health back there, but that's kind of like inevitable on this map, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. At least like early, they definitely have the like presence advantage at the very least. So it is interesting to see how that goes. Shield up right there, anchor drop right there. Deadlift, you know, like we're kind of talking about, Deadlift kind of proving his worth right there just by being able to negate a ton of damage and a ton of initiations on him. So yeah.
Definitely low health a lot more often than blue team is. Who'd have thought, right? But I mean,
Yeah, but I think
lack of push.
yeah, there is Deadlift right there. He's going to be able to get out, actually. That lunge is going to be able to take him out of the fight just fine. Jor right there, taking some damage right there. Kind of going in a little deep, but just going to be able to leave just fine. He is dizzy after all. But yeah, earlier, as I was saying, pretty staunch advantage on the blue side, specifically just for that region. But Genji does get pretty scary late with the team sustain a little bit later, so I'm kind of wondering if there's going to be like a heal on coming out. I'm not sure how effective that'll be, frankly.
I think it's going to come down to Red's late game being able to beat the blue team's counter initiation.
Mm-hmm. I think that really is what it comes out to, yeah. Because for now, the black hole wasn't doing anything. Just like straight up, like it's kind of like, without mincing words, it's effectively useless. At least at this point. Maybe a little bit later, maybe they get a silence, or maybe they get an actually good black hole on everything or something like that. But right now, it's not doing them any favors. Like Dizzy just straight up ignored it right there.
Plenty of attempts at making plays happen, but nothing's actually becoming of any of them.
Yeah, for blue team to get this gone, I think they really do need to be coordinated on a single target specifically, because I mean they do have a couple of AoE. Yep, there you go, boom. That's gonna be the first kill.
Wait, that was actually a trade. I didn't even realize how Swiggins died.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that either. Actually, I was so focused on Dizzy dying. But yeah, that was a trade right there.
A lot of nothing becoming of team fights.
Yeah, first bloods in the game are kind of like not super, unless it's like a wipe or like a double. It's not super effective, I guess you could say, just because, you know, they come back really quickly, so push isn't really that big of a deal. Cocoon going on right there. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of, I don't know if necessarily worried is the right word to use, but like, Red Team doesn't really have a whole lot of CC or like a whole lot of necessarily good follow-up on the Cocoon, I think. Like, the best thing they have is probably like Dizzy's clone, and that itself is like some damage, but probably not enough to secure a kill.
Yeah, it's definitely probably not going to be enough in most cases. Maybe if they get Coco, they can get a kill out of it.
Yeah,
but even then, she has a chance of just zooming out.
Yeah.
The other two have pretty huge health bars and are just generally threatening out of a Cocoon, I think, if they have their abilities still.
Yeah. So there's gonna be Deadlift caught in an anchor and black hole as well, but you know, just shielding it, getting out of it, really just fine. A little over half health and gonna be knocked down a little bit there too. So some damage upgrades coming up on the blue side as well. Pretty much everyone very uniform in their upgrades right now, I guess. It's straight ability damage and then lifesteal from that's not lifesteal, my bad. That's attack speed from Sentry. Yeah. My mistake, I was going by the picture. It's been a while since I played Sentry. Deadlift right there going to be caught. Cocoon on the Sentry. Nothing going to be happening there either, unfortunately. Sentry going to be going back. I'm kind of interested to see what kind of upgrades. Are they going to be going auto attack? What kind of thing do you think that maybe Sentry should be going here? Is like auto attack, black hole, teleburst? Any ideas? Alright! Oh, there was a black hole that had everyone, but you know, deadlifts are going to be. Deadlifts are actually going down. Didn't expect that, honestly.
A pretty clean ball, gotta say.
Yeah, that was very, very clean.
Just in and out. Snag that pick off. Well, let's see if they can make something happen. Oh, baby!
There's gonna be nice.
I'm not gonna die because maybe Monarch Blessing. I don't know if that made it.
It had to be Monarch Blessing. Monarch Blessing is like a 25% shield, I believe. 20% shield, still significant amount of damage. I think without the Monarch Blessing, we would have died for sure. So that's pretty good.
Either way, getting a hell of a lot of damage on the turrets.
Yeah, plenty of damage. That sustain really coming in there, I think, because
that is like as good as dead.
Yeah,
like, it's not gonna fall if you breathe on it, but I mean, one kill.
Yeah, there's no defending that really. So there's going to be some sustain coming out on the red side now. Genji coming out with Jogger Eggs, which is the kind of like basically lifesteal when a successful cocoon hits, as well as 2 regens coming out on Dizzy, and at least 1 regen coming out on Deadlift. So, you know, they are getting their sustain, but I think like that early sustain advantage that Blue had is kind of showing, because most of the turret damage was...
Turret is gone now.
Yeah, just straight up gone, just disappeared out of this world.
Blink and you'll miss it. Or just pay attention, and then you won't miss it.
Yeah,
Solid push top!
Wise words from the one and only Celtic. Yeah, but some more straight up damage coming from Swiggins as well. I'm kind of interested in that auto attack upgrade, because that's not... Well, that was a good...
There was a pickoff.
That was a good pickoff on the cocoon. He was already pretty low health, but them being able to kind of collapse on them all at the same time, that was a very good use of that timing on their abilities on the cocoon. That's what they want with the
Genji pick. That's like the textbook.
Yeah.
How they planned it. They actually picked off Deadlift.
Yeah. I was about to comment on like the interesting pick, in my opinion, on Swiggins' auto attack damage being this early, but you know, it worked out there. Pick up Deadlift, so guess who's laughing now?
And he got some extra damage off on Jor because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say, just because like a lot of times in competitive, I feel like Swiggins is very effective. Obviously, he does a lot of damage, but a lot of the times in competitive, he's most effective with his drop anchor, like his immediate damage and then drop anchor immediately. So. At least from my perspective, getting auto attack damage isn't necessarily amazing, especially with how mobile some of these knots are. A lot of it would come down to like anchor damage, so or like drop anchor abilities, I should say. So you know, interesting pick in my opinion, but it worked out for the Deadlift pick off at the very least.
I mean, I think if Swiggins manages to pick up shield, then if he has that auto attack damage later on in the game, red team's not gonna have he's gonna have some brawling potential against his team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like it is kind of interesting to know like brawling potential between these two teams, because we've already talked about like initiation and kind of like immediate damage that they can do, but brawling wise, it's gonna be pretty interesting, because I mean Sentry and Swiggins are already pretty interesting brawlers.
Solid pickoff.
That was a very nice pickoff, yeah. Before I get too ahead of myself. But Genji just being able to be in a team fight, and like it doesn't really matter who's Genji with. Like as Genji's on your team with Monarch, Blessing, Cocoon, pretty much anyone on their team immediately becomes a brawler. And Deadlift already is a brawler, even though he's categorized as a support. That was a nice pickup on Deadlift right there as well. Chained right there, not able to go in there, and then finished off with a black hole. So they didn't have a lunge there, I assume, or something. I don't know. But still, nice pickoff. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see later in the game with all their upgrades and all their abilities and how they kind of coalesce to see how the brawling potential comes.
Yeah, things are just kind of working out in Blue's favor most of the time, it seems. Red team definitely has the better brawling comp, I think, ultimately. And that'll come through later in the game.
I do think so. I think right now the problem that I'm seeing is that red team is a little disjointed. Like blue team, from what I'm seeing, is just on top of each other. It's at least like 2 people on top of each other more forward, because I think that's how they picked off Deadlift. That's how they picked off multiple times picked up Deadlift, and then you know from there they can push the advantage a little bit for maybe a 2v3 or even just a little bit of harass, something like that. So I think that's like the main issue that I'm seeing, at least on the red side. However, while I'm saying that, I do finally notice that a Blue's turret is pretty weak up top. It's got like a bar left, so you know.
And kind of like small pushes, small consistent pushes every once in a while, getting it down to that point. There haven't been really huge huge pushes off of like pickoffs or anything.
Yeah, I mean the red team definitely has, I think, a lot more harassment potential between Storm Drum, Dizzy, and just like. Deadlift having a relatively low cooldown on launch, being able to get in, shield, do damage, and get out relatively easily. So I think that like those things add up over time. You know, it's not all about getting kills. I mean,
Blue has some okay harass too between the Sentry auto attacks and just Coco in general, but they don't have Genji and Deadlift shields. So
they don't. You are correct in that one. Auto attack going to be coming on Deadlift too. Actually, there's a team fight happening right here. Black hole, pretty big black hole there. Going to be right there. Genji going to be chased down, not getting that kill, unfortunately. That was very, very close. So, like maybe another half second of Coco auto attack would have done it for them, but fortunately nothing right there. Really, really close. All 3 of them were in the black hole for at least a bit of time. If they were able to capitalize on that while they were in the black hole, it would have been definitely a whole lot worse. And right now, just a bunch of clearing going on, not really any engagements.
Super Droid is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty even.
Yeah.
About right now.
Yeah, relatively even. Bit of damage coming out on auto attack on the on the Genji, as well as Caterpillar, the heal on Monarch Blessing. So Caterpillar, I think, is a fantastic upgrade. It's pretty much like something that really turns a lot of things around. I mean, on top of like Monarch Blessing already giving 20% shield, now you have more health with that 20% shield, and that definitely turns things around a lot of the time. Even just for general sustain, even if it's not in the middle of a team fight. That's, at least with both upgrades, that's a health creep every once in a while, 10 seconds, you get a health creep effectively if you want.
Nikki was pointing out in one of the games that I watched earlier when he was casting, he was pointing out Ballstack 21.
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
He was pointing out how there was a game earlier. I don't think it was Mr. Pillow, but they had a Genji who didn't have heal on Blessing, and it was losing them fights.
I can definitely see that. Yeah. Because I wouldn't say it's necessarily mandatory, but it's kind of like borderline there for Genji, honestly. I personally don't get it this early, but it is something that I pick up at some point when I start building Monarch Blessing itself. But yeah, it's just really good for sustain in general.
I think it was Hollow's team. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Remember when Hollow lost? That was great.
Round 1.
That was the first match of the day, casted. Genji right there, pretty weak somehow. Oh, I thought it was going to actually live right there for a second, but no, Sentry Auto Attack just kind of put him mines there. I was able to take it off for him, yeah. You want to kind of point out something interesting. The Butterfly Tour Yo-Yo coming out on Dizzy, which is basically so for those of you who don't know, every single upgrade name in the game, Butterfly Tour Yo-Yo adds a 25% shield reduction for multi-dash. So basically, similar to how like Froggy G has like invulnerability during dash, Dizzy can have a shield during dash, and that's actually going to be right there. Deadlift going down right there too, while trying to defend the top turret.
Yeah, pick off in front of turret is never great. As we learned in our past 2 solo queue games.
No further comments on that.
Not to our Leon.
Yeah. Anywho's, yeah, this is kind of interesting because I don't feel like I really see that shield on multi-dash come out very often, but I guess it would be really.
I don't know.
Good.
I mean, I don't know anything about Dizzy. If I were to play that character, that seems like a pretty necessary upgrade.
It seems so, yeah. I mean, I guess
if you play that character enough as much as Jorv does, when it's like a viable option.
Yeah, I guess so. I think it's just noteworthy because like it is a build that would be more specific towards like this team because it is a lot of bursty things. I mean, Black Hole, Tail Burst, Sentry's like mostly burst. Swiggins also kind of like with his initiations burst, and then Coca Ball obviously. Not a whole ton of like DPS specific things coming out. Like really, Coco's their only like actual DPS, I think, apart from like Sentry Auto Attack. But Sentry Auto Attack is its own thing, I think.
Well, we got those auto attack upgrades. He's now maxed auto attack damage on Swiggins, so he is trying to kind of make up for the lack of brawling potential.
Yeah, I could see that. Pills coming out on that Dizzy as well, so not only is he going to have a lot of sustainability, he's going to be taking less damage during dashes as well as having just more health overall, so it's going to be interesting how that works out. Team fight coming over here. Dizzy not going to be able to land that clone, unfortunately, but it's going to be able to dash out. Right there, badass catch up the deadlift. A little weak right there, but still staying in. I guess everyone's kind of backing off for a little bit. See what happens.
Would have been some good pickoffs, but no anchor hookup.
Hookup? Alright. Anyway.
I don't know, you just...
I don't know. It was a lame joke. Don't just pretend it didn't happen. Like, usually just ignore me.
Good joke, haha. Game's broken, it is dead! Calamari. Straight through
done.
The fire.
Roasted.
Hate
grilled.
to see that. But
that's actually a really good set of body blocking right there.
I see that too.
Yeah, I don't know if that was necessarily intentional. They went with that plan, but Deadlift kind of just went hard right there, honestly, and then everyone just kind of collapsed on that, blocking the path for Sentry and just being able to do that. That is going to be both turrets down on the blue side, so, and with 2 people down, they're going to be able to get some free push on top. Already like a quarter down. Coco coming in.
Coco's gonna be able to do a whole lot about this. Oh, but Swiggins is back.
Swiggins coming in, at least some damage. Sentry right there, getting caught on it. Ooh, that was a nice pick off.
He have a teleport?
He did have a teleport there. Honestly, I totally forgot about myself, so I don't blame the red team whatsoever. Forget it.
Kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm here a spectator, not even really playing the match, and I totally forgot about that myself. So
surprise, bitch. And then Genji dies. So
yeah, there you go. But right now, a whole lot of sustain or like kind of health related things coming out on both sides of the team. Bunch of pills coming out, barrier mags, pills, as well as anchor health coming out on Swiggins on the other side. Interesting kind of thing. I think everyone's kind of realizing the pressure of like, you know, them wanting to not die is the easiest way to put it. So they're kind of like building a little bit for that. Coco can be going right there.
Blue team kind of got separated there. So
a little bit, yeah. Sentry gonna be going right there. Yeah, that's
separated.
this is a pretty slippery situation. Like everyone's staggered, and they just like a couple double kills in a row. Like they did get that pick off on Genji, but blue team I think has gone down like 4 kills to that one in the recent memory, and that's how turret is just gone. Yeah, that's just We knew thee well, top turret. We knew thee well.
This is not great. Two on base, but deadlift pyro stratting.
Please, that's pending. Only I can say that.
But they did get out. So
yeah. Sentry right there with a pretty fat black hole too. We're gonna see if anything's gonna be coming of that. Game's broken into Cocoon. Nothing coming out of that. A wasted black hole, unfortunately. Coco right there up top alone, being with that slow. All right, and she's just gone. She's goodbye.
Can I get an oof in chat?
Can we get a I can't believe Coco's freaking dead in chat?
I think this isn't looking too good for blue team.
This is not looking too hot, I gotta say. Yeah, everyone's at 3v2 on turret. Turret. It's the one.
Not a chance.
No, not a chance for us. Deadlift is going hard right there, leaving like a single other auto attack from either of them would have probably taken him out, honestly.
So the game is not over, actually.
The game is technically not over. Right there, clearing the big bots. All 3 people in there. Everyone but Dizzy leaving. Dizzy kind of caught in an anchor. All right, see if this comes anything. No, not quite. All right, she's just gonna dash out. Oh!
Yep, he's it wasn't that impressive, but I mean,
I don't know. Dude, I'm trying something out. I like that though. I didn't expect it. I thought. He doesn't even have cooldown, which is kind of impressive to me. I guess he used it earlier and then kind of like
taking advantage of the 2v3, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, unfortunately.
They might still be able to get some pickoffs here.
Maybe something. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Oh, he got the health though, and that's just rough. Love right here with 3 bars incoming. Not even gonna be able to get the black hole up. So
that's gonna be a white pipe.
That is a white pipe. White pipe in chat. Can I see a white pipe? There it is.
Get your Bulgarian deadlifts. Game is over.
Is that actually what we're doing away?
I don't know. It's the first skin that came to mind. Good job, red team. You did it.
All right, yeah. That's
I honestly wasn't sure at the beginning, but you pulled it out.
No, yeah, for sure. Early in the game, definitely the blue team had the advantage. Like I said, pulling out every out of stock Medican gone. Out of stock of Medican all over the galaxy. They're gonna be picking it up. Yeah, and that was definitely the early advantage that they had. That they were really doing well with it, but eventually I think just the brawler potential from red side was coming out, especially with like Monarch Blessing and some of the heals like Genji was getting, and also just kind of like deadlift, just kind of period. He did kind of like maybe die a little bit more than was necessary is kind of the first word that comes to mind, but doesn't really fit. But when it mattered, he did get out. He did protect himself as well as his teammates, so that was very good, very good.
Deadlift ended up being a crucial pick there.
Yeah, definitely.
I think also Genji to a degree with the Monarch Blessing. Just those two shields combined, just let them survive the Swiggins and Sentry together. Yeah,
I would say like the defense from the red side was definitely what decided that more than anything else. I think like even like Cocoonish initiations, there wasn't a ton of that. I feel like, or at least like. Not as much as you would expect from a Genji being in a match, but still, overall, GG, red team. Idiots go up 1-0 against Please Love.
Get her done, dog.
All right, so I think we're gonna take a quick break right now while we set up the next match, and we will see you soon.
BRB.
Hello and welcome back to Awesomenauts Rumble Championship Cup. I am your host, Pirate Cheese, here, accompanied by the one and only Salty.
What up?
Yo. Alright, sick. So, we just finished catching up with the game that was what am I talking about? The game that was played by Idiots versus Please Love. Idiots...
Easy points.
Easy points, yeah, basically.
By the way, it's in parentheses.
I don't see that there. I'll believe you. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and continue. Professional casting here.
Team name. We actually are professional. Please Love versus Idiots. Round 2.
Alright. Idiots ended up going 1-0 against the other team. So here we are going to be doing the next one here as well. Any comments immediately on this draft, or just going to get right into it?
It looks like Please Love did not appreciate the Dizzy pick last game.
Yeah, Dizzy seems to be the first ban from them. But I'm assuming, frankly, that Jorv is going to be picking up that Frog on the other side. I will say, though, Rocket's coming out on the red side on easy points there. A lot of Rocket bans this time, so you don't see a whole ton of Rockets.
He is first ban material these days.
Yeah, he definitely
for obvious reasons. If you play Awesomenauts, you know what.
Yeah, if you've pretty much queued into normal matches, you pretty much know why Rocket's ban. There's a lot of turret damage, a lot of escapability, and kind of like pretty much an issue for the overwhelming majority of the cast. I don't really know if he has anyone that I would consider a counter, frankly, or even anything that's really a good answer to him. Even like Swiggins.
I'll tell you this much, Idiots does not have anything that I would even remotely consider a rocket counter.
Yeah, no, the best I can see from that is that hopefully they're just, I mean, this goes for like anytime you're facing Rocket, they're just kind of maybe hoping that Rocket is going to be using his big rocket, and then that's it. It's kind of the thing, but that's kind of the same rule with like every now. Oh, let's just wait until they waste their abilities and then go in. Yeah. So maybe that's it. Frog might be able to do something against him because he does have a little bit of stun, so potentially there could be something interesting there if they get a lot of burst damage, because Frog plus Ksenia is something I'm going to be kind of interested in myself. That is a lot of damage potential. A stun followed by a bunch of like slow scissors and a lot of damage there. That could be something. Even against like someone like Deadlift, especially with him like having a pretty large hitbox. If they get a bunch of like some of those combos off, that's going to be pretty devastating right there.
I feel like there's zero synergy between the characters on Please Love's team, though. It seems like they got Rocket, and from there they're like, wait, now that we have this OP character, what do we do? Yeah,
I mean, it's they picked Deadlift, which was, you know, kind of working out for the previous bouts. The Idiots had them though, but it was an answer to Sentry. So I don't really see Deadlift being necessarily an answer to anything on the other team, just because it's a lot of really now it is a lot more DPS and burst damage as opposed to like the last game. You know, Frog NATO, Scissors, I can consider like a DPS kind of thing. Jimmy Auto Attack is absolutely kind of more of a DPS thing than that, as well as a charge. So, you know, we'll see how things go. There could be a lot of potential with like, you know, brawling as well. Scree being able to, you know, get some magic sunballs action with slows, things like that. So we'll see. We'll see how things play out right here. But honestly, from the draft picks, I'll kind of give it to the blue team, honestly.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, anything else you want to add to that, or should we just go ahead and get right into it?
Let's do it, dog.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that our producers in the back have transitioned to the match itself. 38 seconds.
Oh, 38. I'm at 28. Give me a sec.
Oh my god. Professional streaming, everybody. We're here.
Okay.
All right, sick. So let's go ahead. 38 seconds in 3, 2, 1, go.
More AI station.
More AI station. We didn't even really comment on that, but they did get to pick the map this time around, so they decided AI station one more time. Why not? It worked well for them last time.
Not really. Did it?
But yeah, talk about
wow.
That's a pretty good start. Pretty clean right there. Just immediately first blood, like less than a minute in.
He only has one dash now.
Yep. Just kind of went hard right there with that one. But yeah, it's going to be immediately a kill right there for the red team, I should say. So pretty early right there, a little bit early solar. First items, I always like talking about first items, and a lot of these are functionality stuff. Deadlift coming out with a double regen, pretty simple, straightforward. Rocket coming out with the extra charge on salvo, pretty standard, honestly. And then a slow actually coming out already on the Scree. I would actually think slow is really, really good in this case because Ksenia and Frog can be extremely mobile. Frog with boost just kind of flies all over the place, honestly. So that's potential right there.
As well as even on Scree always felt a little underwhelming to me, so I don't think it's necessarily a great first pick.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like, I don't know if that would be necessarily my first pick, but it is a good upgrade in my opinion, especially against this kind of comp. Other than that, other noteworthy things, Micey, the mech pilot. Our producer is telling me in the back, he's not actually, he's telling me in the back that it's his favorite upgrade of all time. Everyone should get it. Go read his guide about how to use exclusively Micey, the mech pilot on every Lux interaction you ever have. And also Mutant Ninja Worms coming out on Frog. So, yeah, Micey's...
Mutant Ninja Worms.
Yeah, Frog only, good Frog only needs Mutant Ninja Worms. Micey's actually pretty good. Honestly, I don't think it would be that great against this team. Like, it's good. I don't believe it's universally good, especially for Deadlift or like Rocket, who can just like leave, basically. It is really good against Scree, but Scree already has a tough time against
anything.
Pretty much anything, yeah. Anything, like he has like pretty much zero escapability, especially on this map that's like so open. He doesn't have any like choke points to like try to be clever with. He just has to kind of hope. And there's like Micey the mech pilot kind of coming in clutch right there for a second, so I'm pretty sure Pill's gonna talk to me about that later, how it actually worked out for him. But anyway,
I don't know. It's a trade. It was a trade. It was a trade.
So it wasn't very clean. So I still have some arguments to make, but overall, not a whole lot happening right there. So. Yeah. Rocket gonna be taking a little bit of damage right there. Lux gonna be coming down and kind of just clearing, a whole lot of clearing right now. It's kind of there's kind of nothing to necessarily initiate a fight on the red team. Is something that I want to kind of mention. Like Deadlift sort of can, but he initiates it by just kind of fucking going. Like there's no real like lead up to it. He just kind of goes. So that's going to be something that I'm kind of wondering how they're going to deal with on that light. Also, yeah, there's Scree, goodbye. And almost nearly a wipe. Not quite wipe hype, unfortunately, unless maybe something happens in the last second. Nope. No wipe hype, we're good.
I don't think anyone had a shield up, and that was kind of spelled their death there.
Yeah, that's I really do see that because both Rocket, I don't know if he had used his Rocket as well, but he just kind of like was stuck there. Scree, like I said, kind of just rough time all around. So we'll just go a ton of damage on the top turret. I believe they had 3 droids and Deadlift being solo. Wow, I thought the turret was just gonna be gone right there, but not quite. Really just like sneeze on it, maybe like give it a cold and it'll go down. But that's gonna be really, really good push for the blue side. So things aren't looking so great, at least for now, for the red team.
Yeah, red team's picks, I'm not sold on them. It honestly seems like it was just get Rocket and win was their assumption. Mm-hmm. And obviously that's not the case.
Yeah, I mean, not to rag on it too hard, but this ain't pubs. Like, Rocket doesn't immediately mean an automatic win. But, you know, it does give you some advantage, but that's not all you can really rely on a lot of the time. So, anywho's, it's... So yeah, there's going to be open first turret for the red side. They are also behind in solar as well, pretty significantly. Like, I mean, even Rocket, you know, their sort of, like, ringer is sitting at around 500 solar. I don't know if this is coming up.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Like, that's like 1 upgrade, basically. Well, you know, 1 upgrade and 2 Metacans, to be specific, since that's what he's gotten. And everyone else on the other team is ahead by pretty much at least 200 solar. Well, now, definitely ahead of 200 solar with that kill on the screen. So, things are looking pretty rough right here. Do you think, like, there is a Piggy coming out on Deadlift, which is kind of something I want to talk about for a second, that, you know, Piggy coming out like this... Not necessarily early, but like it is like it is pretty early, and I mean like Piggy and like because it kind of as an emergency usually happens a little bit later, but they are pretty behind. Like, do you think like just like everyone should Piggy and kind of hope for the best? Or?
I mean on Deadlift specifically, I don't think pigging into anything is really going to help them that much in this situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Deadlift.
It looks like he just kind of got more damage off of it, which is an upgrade you don't see very often,
Mm-hmm.
and he also just got picked off.
Yeah, that upgrade specifically, Arnold Schwarzenegger training video. I wonder what that's a reference to. Increase the damage of Iron Slam by 8% for every knot hit in quick succession. This caps at 24. So, never seen that upgrade in my life. Interesting to see it here coming out in competitive. It's definitely a brawling. It's definitely a brawling kind of upgrade, which, you know, at this point, I don't really see.
It might be a pushing thing.
No, it's for every knot, it says.
Oh, really?
Yep. Well, I don't know. It could be for every droid, but it says specifically for every knot.
This guy's either the best deadlift ever, or just really confident that he's going to be punching these characters consecutively.
Yeah, I don't know about that, honestly. It's going to be rough, I gotta say, and like I said, for pegging into that specifically, not the best decision, honestly. Like, not to mince words too much, but yeah, that's going to be that's kind of straight up.
Regen is out on everyone now.
Yeah. Magic Sunballs is going to be coming out on the Screer, though, so it's going to be able to do a little bit more area damage, a little bit more kind of crowd control stuff, as well as both stages of slow coming out on the Totem. So that's going to be potentially good. At this point, like, what do you think Red Team should be going for, like, damage, functionality upgrades, or what do you think it is that they need to kind of be, like, kind of pushing back from this kind of, like, they're on their heels right now?
Okay, so we've seen plenty of comebacks from this point on AI Station, but I think specifically what you need to do to come back from this is get kills, because you're not going to be able to overextend to push their turrets, especially not with those characters. Maybe Rocket, but that would be really risky and like basically pointless.
Yeah.
So they're gonna need to kill someone or something to make this happen.
No, yeah, absolutely. I think really like the play here is to maybe let blue team kind of like into that space that they're in right now and just kind of hold that position forever and then just kind of like wait for an opportunity, because I think that's really all they can do. And you know, as I say that, deadlift's just going to go down, so a little unfortunate right there. I don't know how well they are for defense either. Ooh, Lux almost going down right there, but not quite, unfortunately. Going to be teleporting back in for some upgrades and some healings.
A little bit of push on top. That frog afro damage.
Yeah, something there. So, yeah, I kind of agree with you. Like, really the only kind of like possible condition that they have to come back is just kind of like getting some kills. And like I said, the only way that I see that realistically happening is holding this position, being together, and just waiting for an opportunity, whether it be like someone alone, a good initiation from someone. I kind of mentioned that like there's not a really good one. Hey, there's a good team fight right there. They got a frog. So at this point, should they be pushing that single advantage potentially? Oh, they actually were able to get the Cassandra right there. So it's going to be a double kill right there for nothing, and that's definitely
one of the Blues teleport back. Oh no, that was a double kill. Okay.
Nope, that was a double kill. I just said that, Chelsea. Thank you for paying attention to your co-caster.
I might have been daydreaming.
So there's going to be a little bit of push on bottom at the very least. Lux doing his best right to defend, to at least harass or at least distract, and it's going to work. He's going to be going out at least, you know, maybe like a fifth, a sixth, 2/7 off the bottom turret. Who knows?
I feel like they probably should have kept up that pressure a little more rather than teleporting back.
At least a little bit, yeah, because I mean, at least Rocket and Deadlift could have stayed in a little bit more. They have pretty good escapability. Scree was already sort of low, so I can understand them going, but, you know, pushing that kind of double kill advantage is definitely something that they should be doing. And we were just talking about, really the only way they're going to be able to come back is get some kills, and they did get a couple of kills right there, and did push that advantage, but they could have potentially done a little bit more with that. Deadlift going to be using the shield right there, going to be looking to back off a little bit too. And everyone, this is kind of going back to the status quo, like, at this point, again, it's irrelevant that the back turret, or not the back turret, the first blue turret is destroyed, because everyone was just kind of chilling out here on the red side. So, kind of going back to the same condition. If red team wants to kind of come back from this, get a kill, may get two, and then push that advantage.
Mr. Pillow with Mycene making it pretty difficult.
Yeah. Mycene is a really, really good harass upgrade. It's not necessarily just for like getting initiations and pushing them towards your side, but disengages, obviously very, very good. Or even just like literal harassment. Like usually when this game harassing means like kind of like poke damage, but just like knocking them away with Mycene is like, you know, basically as literal with harassment as you can get. Just like pushing them.
He keeps cutting them off at the jump pad, which is pretty neat. Not gonna lie.
It is, yeah.
Kind of sick for that.
Yeah, because it's.
I saw him use Micey to do it earlier. He's using Charge to do it, and it's gotten him like a few kills, I think.
No, yeah, just being able to cut off that mobility on the map, like without that jump pad, it's taking like until the heat death of the universe for someone to get from bottom lane to top lane. It's gonna be rough. So him being able to deny that, kind of like similar on Rivet, like if you get the first 2 turrets and then you're able to deny that alley, it's really, really tough for the other team to be defending consistently. So
top is slowly but surely going down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's going to be a team fight right here. Jor's going to be using both of his abilities, both of them gone, nearly going down. Pillow also going to be nearly going down. Wow! That is actually really nice. That was super, super close to a double kill for the red team.
It was a great totem, but it didn't quite do enough damage.
They just needed a little bit more, like a little bit of anything. Even if like Scree had just gone in a little bit harder, like he died anyway. So you know, if you did like a little bit of martyrdom and just kind of like went for it, who knows? Maybe something
looking for that pickoff. That was very, very aggressive.
Yeah, very aggressive.
I guess they could have gotten away with because he was totally alone. But
yeah. Oh, they're still going to be pushing all the way to their side.
Yeah,
Shield's going to be up. Yeah, that's
just
going to
die here for sure.
Yeah, like that's nothing you can do at that point. So that's going to be him down. As far as people down, though, that might be, like, potentially the best. I mean, because, you know, Scree and Rocket are probably the best defenders on the other side. The other squishiest, though.
Really just hammering it in at this point.
Yeah, like, they're just consistently here. Like, they're kind of, frankly, like, uncontested in this area. They just kind of have this dominated. Like I said, the fact that turret is gone on their side is largely irrelevant. Like, I don't even see them going back for, like, the health creeps. I don't see them going back for health. I don't see them going back to like release the flying droids or much of anything. It just kind of like they just kind of exist here now. This is their home.
Every time red team tries to do anything, they're getting punished pretty consistently. So blue team's still getting those pickoffs. This isn't a total stalemate. See, even right now, Rocket almost died to Ksenia.
Yeah, and the only reason that it seemed like Lux was going in, Lux was like that low, was because he was going in hard just for that kill. It wasn't necessarily because red team was, you know, trying to kill him specifically, but I don't know.
Pretty good at Ksenia play this game. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, Lux gonna be pretty low. Frog gonna be pretty low there too. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get anything off right there. Oh, that's gonna be Scree gone. Was he not full health?
Making it happen.
Yeah, I think Scree was like basically full health right there, and I mean.
No, he wasn't. But.
No, okay, still though, like be able to like go in 3v1, get a kill, and get out. You know, that's something to be proud of.
That's what Ksenia needs to do, and he's pulling it off.
Yeah, I think like
most of the time, Ksenia doesn't do that in competitive.
Yeah, I think not to like be ringing like, you know, the death knell so much, but I think a lot of it also comes down to blue team is playing their knots as like their roles. Like, you know, Ksenia is playing as an assassin. Lux is playing as like a sort of harasser brawler that has like a bunch of knockback. And Frog is Frog. I don't really know if there's much more to comment about that. While like, you know, red team is just kind of playing like with the defensive. Like they're not necessarily going in and like brawling with deadlift or like being able to like, you know, magic sunballs like a bunch of them with Scree or things like that, or using totem for like good consistent blocking purposes, or Rocket getting in and like leaving kind of thing. So I think that's partially what's going on. At the same time, it is kind of like difficult to like ignore that red team just kind of doesn't have a whole lot of synergies going on with that. I thought Lux was gonna live there for a second. I swear to God, I was like, wow, but he didn't, unfortunately. Right there, Dilip gonna be looking to get out. He took the jump pad. I don't know if that's okay. He's out. He's fine. But yeah, base exposure on the red side here. 2v2 at their base. Both Ksenia and Frog have pretty good escapability, so they don't have. Frog going in pretty hard and gonna be worth it actually. Both abilities burned right there, but I guess Ksenia actually went down there.
Decent saw blade. Jorv pretty low, but it doesn't look like he's gonna die unless he gets Andy'd to death. Oh no! Oh, brutal.
Yeah, he uses dash right there, and unfortunately,
Frog reaching for the help.
Yeah. Help me, brother!
Pulled into the abyss that is.
You want to finish that or no?
Scree's cold embrace.
Alright. Alright, but yeah, that's gonna be kind of a messy set of kills right there, and I don't really know what Scree was trying there. But he paid the price for it, unfortunately.
And all their momentum just...
Yeah, like, at least they are a little bit more forward than, you know, they were previously, but, you know, Lux and Ksenia coming in, just clearing droids, already just, you know, just face-tanking the bottom turret, because it doesn't matter at this point. They both left. They, even just face-tanking it, are they just going to take this down just by tanking it? Yeah, just straight up. Alright. No droids necessary. That's actually kind of nice to see, because I kind of like nice aggressive play. You don't see that too often on Feeling Competitive, just kind of like going at it for the turret. Even when it may not necessarily be in the most advantageous position.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, Frog. Ooh, wow, that was really
timing clutch. I don't know if that would have killed or not, but
I think it would have. Like at this, you know, level 12 with that, because I think that does like roughly 30 damage at this point. Sorry, 300 damage. Still used to the old numbers. The old numbers that are like 3 years old at this point. Yeah. So Scree kind of coming up top, kind of getting some, trying to do something. Is he going to be able to get that? No, unfortunately. Well, no, not unfortunately. Wow, that was really close. Lux coming out with, like, no health quite often, it seems. So, you know, good on him for doing that, I guess. A lot of pills coming out on blue team as well. So as far as, like, sustainability and staying out there, it looks like they're going to be doing that for a good while. You can just tell in the disparity right here, unfortunately. Like, even just the upgrades, like, everyone on the blue team has at least 2 more upgrades than anyone on the red team. So even just that alone, you can tell that there's a pretty big difference. And, you know, looking at the solar as well, the top person has about 1,600 on the red team. The bottom person on the blue team has 2,000. So 400 solar difference just right there alone. Scree going to be going down right there as well. And then here,
just losing these brawls.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a trade right there at the very well. It was a trade, you know.
Yeah, Love's not doing anything about this. And
wow, all right,
worse than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that one. I'm sorry, I want to apologize to that person just because that was brutal. Sorry.
So I don't think that worked out how Red wanted it to work out. Their draft was just kind of gross.
Yeah,
like, I said this before, but it seems like they just got Rocket. From there, they didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
They just picked some good characters.
I kind of feel that, because I mean, yeah, like in theory, like these are, like in competitive, like these are not necessarily bad characters. Like we've seen Screed today, we've seen Deadlift. We haven't seen Rocket, but mostly because he's banned, and Rocket's just a good character. Like these are all good characters, but synergistically working together, you know, this is competitive. It's about teamwork. Even if they do have good teamwork together, as far as like their characters, it would kind of limit them, frankly. Like there is no like real initiator. There's not like a good range. There's like there's not really like a combined effort for like brawling or like harassment, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And it's just rough going against like, you know, quick assassins with people being able to get out and just kind of like being able to actually harass you quite a bit, like the blue team comp was. So, you know, I don't necessarily want to say that they played poorly or anything like that, but I think a lot of it does come down to the draft, and you know, that's what part of what competitive is all about.
I think blue team played really solid too.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much everyone on their team was doing exactly what they needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Pillow making himself known with all those knockbacks and making plays. Ksenia getting the pick off.
Micey on the map.
Just Jorv just doing damage in general.
Mm-hmm.
All that combined, red team just couldn't keep up.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. You know, for as long as they were behind, they at least were able to, you know, frankly stall for a decent amount of time. You know, at the end of the game, there were 17 to 8 kills, 2 levels down. Even that, they were able to protect the base for, you know, roughly 18 minutes. Relatively long game, considering, like, you know, like I said, they were consistently behind 2 levels and several kills at many points in the game. So, you know, at least good on them for, you know, doing their damnedest, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. Yeah.
All right, good job to Idiots for taking the set. 2-0.
Good job to Idiots. Nice. Anyway, do you have anything else to...
Dumb idiots.
Hey, that's personal attacks right there. We can't be doing that.
Alright, on to the next one.
Alright, so yeah, we're going to be taking a quick break. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we're going to be right back after these messages from... No one. Is there going to be a splash screen that says we'll be right back?